Hello, my name is Jordan. Thank you for coming to my channel. I have been playing chess for about 5 years, and I made this channel to document some of my chess studies. Going to be doing some gameplay and review, some analysis, some self-analysis. Going to be doing some puzzles, some opening play, some opening prep. But today, I'd like to do just a 10-minute game, 10-minute rapid, and do some self-analysis after. I'm currently 1996, but normally around 2000. So we're playing white. I am an e4 player, so we're going to start with that. I do like to play the Italian, so we'll go knight f3. I'm going to develop my light squared bishop to c4. I think this is just kind of usual Italian development. We'll go d3 just to secure that e4 pawn. He goes bishop e7, which is a little bit passive. So normally in the Italian, black ends up pushing d5, and we get a trade in the center. So what I like to do is get castled, get safe, and then continue developing my knight and dark squared bishop. So I'm thinking I push c3, get better control of the center, and then go rook e1 and maneuver my knight around to my king side. He goes d6, so he can go bishop g4 and pin my knight, but if I go h3, we can just kind of hopefully put a stop to that. So he's playing a bit aggressive. So what we can do is go knight h3, try to prevent g4, and I may need to end up going maybe like f3 to also support that, but I forget the name of this opening, but this is a pretty aggressive type opening for black because his king's in the center, and it's a bit hard for him to castle queen side, and he's trying to just kind of come downhill on me on the king side. So let's see what he wants to do. He may try to go h5, but I think I should take g5 if he does, because that'll be loose. I know he can go rook g8, but I think I can support that bishop with h4. I'm not sure if that if that weakens the g4 square too much, because the g4 will be supported by the knight, the bishop, and the pawn on h5. But let's see what he would like to do. He's thinking for a bit on this move. My dark squared bishop and my knight are both undeveloped, so gonna have to see where to put them. If I can bring my knight around to my king side to provide some support. Not sure exactly what he's thinking about right now. I don't see any obvious moves. He might want to just develop his light squared bishop. Try to get ready to castle queenside. All right, so rook g8. So rook g8 is trying to prepare g4. If I put my knight on g4, takes with his knight, I take with my pawn. Try to get a trade that way. I can go queen b3, try to threaten uh, the fork on f7. I don't really think I see a way. He kind of go knight a5, but then I give a check with my queen on a4 and push his knight back. Let's go there. Let's try to threaten this fork and see if we can try to slow down this attack on the king side. Okay. So he goes rook G8. I don't want to push G4 because that weakens it quite a bit. But what if I go F3? What if I go F3 to try to keep a better clamp on G4? He might go H5, but let's see what he wants to do. All right, so H5. So I should pull my queen back because if he goes knight A5, then if I give him a check, my queen B5, that still wouldn't work. I could take with my pawn. I think I have time to develop. I think I have time to develop my bishop to E4. If he goes knight A5, I give a check with my queen on A4. He can't go B5 because then I take with the bishop with check. He has to take with the A6 pawn, and then his rook is a bit weaker, but let's see what he'd like to do. If he goes B5 right now, I go bishop D5. Not sure what he's thinking. My dark squares are a bit looser around the king, especially pushing F3, but I was trying to stop that H and G pawn coming down the board. My queenside knight is still undeveloped, so I gotta find a spot for him, but maybe I should pull my queen back towards the center to try to get her in a better position, because the battery that I was thinking with them really kind of, it's not really going to go anywhere. King F8. King F8. Maybe I just pull my queen back. Queen D1. Support the G4 square a little bit tighter. Okay. Maybe knight D2 to eventually swing my knight around. Not really so concerned about that trade, even though I did like my light squared bishop, but there was no way to kind of save it. So if I take with the pawn, that opens up the rook, but I don't see that file opening up soon. If I take with the knight, I can push d4, try to open up the center a little bit. Maybe we try that. Then I could put my knight on d4. Let's try to open up the center. Let's go there. So I take with the knight. He takes back with his knight. I take with the pawn. He takes with his bishop. Let's think. Let's think. If I try to open up the center, D takes E5, he takes, I take. I can just push. No. Let's think. Let's get rid of that pawn. He's going to take with his knight. And I'll trade knights. And I'll move my queen. Maybe queen. Queen c2 looks okay. Queen c2. He might try to go h3 with his bishop, but I'll go rook f2. I need to get off this diagonal. My knight's not doing much of anything. If I go bishop f2, he goes bishop h3. No. There, knight there. Bishop f2. He goes bishop f3. Take. I don't see another option right now. I don't like this move. I know he's going to go bishop h3. Oh, he didn't go bishop h3. Why didn't he go bishop h3? I'm going to offer a queen trade. I think he's trying to double up his... He's trying to put his rook on h... Maybe his rook on h7, but I don't really see what he's doing. We go g3, try to just try to get around any bishop h3 ideas. Okay. If he goes bishop h3, I go queen f3. We'll trade. And I'll be down an exchange, but at least I won't get checkmated. Okay, so I'm down the exchange, but after the game, I want to look how I could have prevented that kingside attack. Because that was pretty bothersome. That was definitely pretty bothersome. Let's see if there's any way I can hold this. We're a bit low on time, but nothing too crazy. Oh. I was going to say he might try to double up his rooks. Let me see if I can get my knight in a better position in the game. Alright, so he's going to double up his rooks for certain. Let's go king here. Let's close that side off. Support that pawn. Let's go b3. Let's bit low on time. He's going to double his rooks. I'm going to go king f2, maybe king f3. Go king f3. Maybe knight f1. Knight f1, maybe knight e3. Threatening the rook. Put that knight there, protects the pawn. My rook's a little bit freer to move around. I might go rook g2, protect my a2 pawn. I don't think I'm so worried about that. I can take it. You can't take back because then I have a fork. And I'm threatening the other one. Threatening that rook, so he's just kind of blundering everything. All right. He had a really good attack in the beginning, but then it kind of fizzled out with a couple blunders. So let's take a look at this analysis and see where I could have done better in the opening and where he might have gone wrong in the middle and end game. Let's take a look. Uh, 84% accuracy. That's not bad. No blunders, but a couple mistakes and a miss. Let's go to the analysis. E4, E5. Play the Italian, 2 knights. Okay. This is all normal opening. Okay, so the Italian Hungarian defense. That's what he's attempting with the G5. Knight h2 was good, but knight b d2 was best. Knight b to d2. What's the idea there? If he pushes g4. Knight b to d2. If I just take, what's the analysis say? It's a little bit slow getting Stockfish's recommendation. Let's see if I can give 5 seconds max. It's having a little trouble loading. Let's go back a couple moves. Knight b to d2. Pushes. All right. The engine's having a little bit. It's a little bit slow right now, so let's just continue on. Let's see where I make a mistake. All right. So queen b3 was a mistake. Queen b3 was my first mistake. It's an inaccuracy. It goes to minus 0.8. Knight g4 was best. Knight. Oh, knight g4. Okay. So I'm assuming just to go there and then just to try to slow down that kind of onslaught, that kingside attack. Let's try to change this a little bit. No, it's still quite slow. All right, that's okay. All right, so bishop d2 was an inaccuracy. Should have just tried to continue to prevent or try to address the kingside attack. f3 was a mistake. That really sends the evaluation down. What would have been best? Knight a3 would have been best. Knight a3 would have been best. What's the thinking there? Knight a3, h5, rook e1. g4. Alright, so it looks like it's already -1, so at that point I'm kind of already in a bad place. Yeah, so even by here I'm already in a bad place. So I really should have, instead of going queen b3, I should have gone knight g4 and tried to slow down the attack. He had a miss with a6. Should have gone knight a5. Knight a5. Okay, so I saw this, but I was thinking I can block, I can give a check, which would be the best move. He goes c6, and the queen defends the knight. Alright, that's pretty simple. I should have saw that. Let's continue on. It's my mistake. That's his miss. I developed my bishop. That's the best move. King f8 was the best move. Bringing my queen back was a mistake. I should have gone knight d2. Oh, just to, I guess, bring my knight over. Try to help bring more firepower to the attack, or to the defense. He had a miss with h5. d5 is best. d5. Let's say I take. It's an accuracy. Throws his knight in there. Okay. Makes sense. So it's saying I should pull my bishop back. And then d4. Honestly, I would probably just retreat my bishop back. And if he takes on c3, I just put my knight there. Right, so that would have been the best move. Okay. So I finally moved knight d2, and that's a miss. Knight Just d4 would have been good to try to open up the center and try to stop that attack. All right, so this is actually where I come back to equality. He had a miss with a5. What should he have done? d5 is best, still just opening up the center for him. Bishop b3. That's an inaccuracy. d4 is best. So really, just trying to open up the center on either side is what the computer's suggesting. Taking with a knight was best. A takes b. That's good, but a takes b3 would have been better. Okay. Getting the king over to the corner is kind of best for him. So I finally played d4. That is the best move. g4 takes. That's a mistake. All right. The only other thing I was thinking was playing h4. Let's see what the computer thinks. That's a mistake. D takes e5 would have been best. Then I was worried about him taking there with the pawn. And that was a blunder. I guess I just keep taking. Oh, I guess I can just move my king and he's not really threatening anything. Okay. So I guess that him pushing his pawns wasn't really the threat that I thought it was, so me taking was really just helping open up the attack for him. He takes with a knight, and here's -2, so I'm really not doing well. Bishop takes. Queen c2 was one of the better moves. Queen d2 was best. Okay. That was an inaccuracy. I should have gone queen b3. Queen b3, but then bishop h3. That's an inaccuracy. Why is that an inaccuracy? g5. Bishop g5, just queen takes. When I take the bishop. That makes sense. Okay. So that's an inaccuracy. Queen there's it. You should have gone bishop h3. Yeah, that's what I thought he was going to do. And then wants me to go bishop e3, and I'd have to exchange my queen for his bishop and rook. So let's go back. Brings his queen out, that was a mistake. Exchanging the bishop was best. Putting the queen there was best. That's g3 is a mistake. Why is g3 a mistake? He goes rook. Yeah, rook. Okay, rook h7, and then he's got a pretty bad batter, pretty nasty batter there. Queen e3 was best. Queen e3 was best, but then he goes rook there. Oh, then maybe I can escape my, yeah, king f2 and escape my king around. Okay. Queen g2 was best. I saw this pin coming. Exchanging, just losing the exchange is best because it's already lost there. Maneuvering the knight around. He's going to double stack the rooks. Good. I'm defending well. I'm securing my queenside pawns. I knew he was going to double stack his rooks, so I just preemptively went to rook g1 so I can move my king around to protect that pawn. And this is a winning endgame for him because he's just up in exchange. Rook g4 to g6 is an inaccuracy. He's still winning, but it's an inaccuracy. You should have gone rook f4 check. I couldn't take because then he takes my rook. So here it wants me to go a4. I gotta look at pawn endgames more. A5 to freeze that side. He's winning, but not as decisively as he would have been. So rook h5 is a good move. King wants king g2, which is, I played rook g2, that's fine. That's a mistake because if I take, he can't take because then walks right into that fork, which is exactly what he did. So it was really a blunder at the end. He was completely winning throughout the game and then a blunder at the end. And at that point, I think he just stopped paying attention because he just blundered another rook. All right, so definitely some opening knowledge that I need to kind of refresh on that variation of the Italian game, but defended pretty well, and then a blunder at the end game let me come back to a winning position, and then he resigned. So need to review the opening, but overall, the middle game, it looks like I played pretty okay, and then defended well in the end game. So that'll be the game for now. I'll come back with another game and another analysis, but the Italian game, Hungarian Defense, ultimately a win today, but we'll see what the next game brings us. Thank you very much for watching.